my favorite stories as a kid was about Elijah on Mount Carmel with the throwdown between the Baal and Ahab and Queen Jezebel, and how they were persecuting Elijah because he was a prophet of God Most High. And so Elijah said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll have a contest. You bring your 850 prophets of Baal, and I will go out, and whichever God can start a fire, which if you would think, if you're a God, starting a fire isn't that difficult. He says, whichever God can start a fire, that's the true God. So in chapter 18 of 1 Kings, verse 26, it says, so they took the bull given them and prepared it. Then they called on the name of the Baal from morning till noon. Baal, answer us, they shouted, but there was no response. No one answered. And they danced around the altar they had made. At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. Shout louder, he said. Surely he is a god. Perhaps he's in deep thought or busy or traveling. Maybe he's sleeping and must be awakened. So they shouted louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until their blood flowed. Midday passed, and they continued their frantic prophesying until the time for the evening sacrifice. But there was no response. No one answered. No one paid attention. And the thing that just moves me, especially about that last line, is here these people are crying out. They're doing everything they can to get their God's attention, and there's no response. No one answered, and no one paid attention. And the reason Baal didn't answer is because there is no Baal. There's only one God. Paul writes in 1 Timothy, there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. And I want you to know that that God hears. That God listens. When we cry out to him, he is there. You may be alone, you may be in your car, you may be in your room, you may be who knows where. But when you cry out to him, he hears, he cares, and he pays attention, because he loves you with a love so high and wide and long and deep, you will never understand it. So wherever you are, whatever you're going through, just know he is there and he is listening. God bless you.